Israel has launched attacks on Lebanon and Syria, while Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited IDF soldiers and their injured comrades.
With Gaza's largest hospital under siege amid the fighting, the Red Cross warns that the healthcare system has reached a point of no return.
Ukrainian soldiers stand guard on the banks of the Dnipro River, ready for Russian attacks, as President Putin meets military officials in Rostov-on-Don.
Israel has launched new attacks on targets in Lebanon and Syria. Hezbollah said 7 of its fighters were killed in Lebanon. The Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, claimed it hit a Syria-based organization it said was behind a drone attack on a school in Eilat on Thursday. An IDF spokesman said it was operating in any area that threatened Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited IDF forces, including an artillery base, and also met injured soldiers at a medical centre in Ashkelon, telling them their friends were hitting Hamas hard. Hamas says the death toll, mainly Palestinian civilians, has surpassed 11,000 in Gaza. In the Saudi capital Riyadh, Syria's president arrived ahead of an emergency summit of the Arab League. It has called for a complete ceasefire in Gaza.
Gaza's largest hospital in the thick of the battle on Friday evening, encircled by fighting between Israeli soldiers and Hamas militants. The Red Cross has warned that after 5 weeks of war, the enclave's healthcare system has reached a point of no return.
I was prepared to inform the Council about the critical shortages of fuel, food and water. But honestly, now our utmost concern is the direct threat to the lives of all those wounded and sick.
The Red Cross is appealing for the warring parties to respect international humanitarian law, under which hospitals are specially protected facilities. But the Israeli military has accused Hamas of using hospitals as command and control centres and hideouts.
Ukrainian soldiers standing ground, poised for Russian attacks. They've taken their positions on the banks of the Dnipro River. Defending troops liberated the southern city of Kherson last year, but Moscow still controls swaths of territory across the bank, and this unit are keeping watch in case Russian forces strike.
Фосфор, флешата, прості снаряди, кумулятивні, є ті самі, осколочництво вони само по собі. Хаотична стрілянина йде, у них немає для такого, як би сказати, чересчур времени не завжди, для того, щоб настроїтись. Вони автоматично просто в сектор закидають.
A few kilometres southwest, Russian President Vladimir Putin made an unannounced visit to military headquarters in Rostov-on-Don. Meanwhile, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has reaffirmed that Russia needs to achieve its goals in its military operation. This as Moscow says it has recently launched 11 group strikes with precision weapons and unmanned aerial vehicles against Ukrainian military infrastructure.
Pas-de-Calais in northern France remains on the highest red alert for flooding. Since Storm Ciarán a week and a half ago, 2.5 months' worth of rain has fallen. Although there's expected to be a let-up over the weekend, more rain is forecast for Monday. 200 communities across the region have closed their schools, bracing for the next downpour.
Hier soir, ça avait baissé d'1 mètre sur les rues. Il a plu 10 minutes, une grosse averse, une grosse précipitation. Ça remontait de 2 mètres. Donc, le temps qu'il pleuvra, on ne s'en sortira pas. Des cumuls, autant de cumuls, c'est impossible qu'on s'en sorte.
After the hottest October in recorded history, Atlantic storms affected many parts of Europe. A new weather warning's been issued for Italy's Tuscany region, and across the French border in Belgium, the river Isère has burst its banks.